Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to another episode of Ep15 featuring none other than Dawn of War 2 Retribution. After a brief week-long hiatus, which I was unable to post any videos for you guys, and I profoundly apologize for that. I'll try to keep better up with that when I can. I'm going to record several games tonight and be able to post those for you throughout the week. So, as you can see, we're on Green Tooth Gorge looking at everyone's favorite little waterfall oasis tucked away in the corner here. Another one of Relic's little excellent cosmetic map additions that always hanging around just out of sight. So, it's been a while. I won't ramble too long. Let's get right on to this game since it's been so long. We've got Welcome Back My Son as our nice red and yellow Lictor Alpha there looking pretty nasty. And on the blue side, we've got Nebukatnezzar as our Eldar Warlock with a pretty standard color scheme. Let's get this game on the road and take a look at what's going on. Of course, Green Tooth Gorge still having plenty garrisons. I know several maps got the garrisons taken out, but these will probably be used in Nebuchadnezzar's favor, as the Tyranids are notorious for being unable to deal with early garrisons in this map overall. So hopefully Nebuchadnezzar will be able to use that to his advantage, or Welcome Back Son will be able to find a way around those in his own right. So as far as opening build orders go, we're seeing pretty standard on both sides. Welcome Back My Son bringing in the double Termagants, and Nebuchadnezzar bringing some Banshees onto the field. Now it looks like we've got our Lictor here moving on in on the center point. He's either going to be grabbing a quick VP or he's cloaking, so it looks like I'd venture to guess that he's going to go ahead and move in on some nice early squishy Cap and Eldar squads. If you're an Eldar player, I'm sure you know you have these nice squishy low HP model count squads, and the Lictor is going to be able to cause you some very early wreck loss with flesh hooks and just harassing your Captain squads and reducing map control. A special attack right off the bat from the Lictor, going to start tearing into these Guardians. He's going to fall back with the Banshees pursuing. But as an Eldar player fighting the Lictor, you're going to really have to decide, oh, and there goes a Banshee to getting taken out by a flesh hook right off the bat. That's 40 wreck for no cost, pretty much, in the ways of Welcome Back My Son. So as I was saying, as an Eldar player playing the Lictor, you're going to have to decide early on if Rangers are going to be necessary to deal with this Lictor. Obviously, they don't cost much in the way of, bringing their cost to bear, as they just be sniping Gaunts and Gants throughout the early game here. But other than that, you'll really need them to try to keep this Lictor from causing you a lot of wreck drain. And the snipers themselves are definitely a useful unit all around. They'll help you snipe this Lictor, who is actually very squishy once he does get exposed and out in the range of fire there. And hopefully help you with some warriors maybe later on too. So we'll see if Nebuchadnezzar gets that. Of course, first off, he's grabbing a Shuriken weapon team. And a nice looking Destructor right into the middle of that Termagant brood, bringing him down to about half HP. Warlock's not going to fall back though, going to try to get some more decap and distract Welcome Back My Son from really moving around the map. You can see he's going to need both these Termagant broods to deal with this Warlock. So always good when you can get a 2-to-1 on that. Looks like the Hormagaunts fell into the trap of a Shuriken Cannon while trying to chase down these Guardians early on. So good play by Nebuchadnezzar, good positioning on that. Either way, they had come around that side of that garrison. They were going to get suppressed there. Meanwhile, the Banshee's grabbing a little bit of stuff on retreat. A nice looking special attack from the Warlock on that Termagant brood, and they're going to have to get out of here as they're both engaged in melee now. Took a few losses there, but not looking too bad. Nebuchadnezzar being able to push back here pretty well. And looks like as far as power goes, both players having double generators up right now, so looking pretty good on both sides. And the Lictor still has managed to stay undiscovered here, and is now harassing the Shuriken Cannon. Looks like Nebuchadnezzar does decide that Rangers are going to be necessary, and is going to bring those onto the field to help deal with this Lictor. And meanwhile, the Lictor looks like he's staying to his first 3 Gaunt Brood squads right here. So, of course, the Lictor being ever obnoxious, still choosing to harass, and the 2 Termagant broods are going to force off the double Banshees up top here. So, Welcome Back My Son doing a pretty good job of trying to hold some map. He is a bit short on VPs right now, though. He needs to get those back as soon as he can. And he's bringing in some Raveners onto the field as well to help deal with that Shuriken Cannon. Without the Devourer upgrade in Tier 1, I've been seeing a lot less of Raveners recently, but hopefully Welcome Back My Son will be able to put these to good use and deal with that Shuriken Cannon. So Shuriken Cannon set up on the VP. The Termagants did get the cap, but they're going to be forced off And the Warlock finally retreats after being constantly harassing these back lines here for Nebukatnezzar. So looking pretty good on both sides. It looks like that Shuriken Cannon moved up to start capping the eastward victory point over here, which is pretty much the natural point for Welcome Back, My Son. Ravener's coming in for a bow strike, knocking that Shuriken team all over the place. And doesn't look like Nebukatnezzar sees it. Oh, there he goes, and he's pulling it back. Looks like he's going to head right into that garrison. Meanwhile, Rangers moving in, hanging out in the middle here, trying to protect these squishy squads from the Lictor. That's really what you got to do with these right now when they're out on the field, is pretty much try to keep that Lictor under control. Shuriken Cannon hanging out in the garrison. Looks like it's decided to go ahead and get out of there. Welcome Back, My Son was purchasing some spore mines to deal with that anyways. And overall, just a lot of capping going on back and forth here. Welcome Back, My Son had managed to go ahead and capture both of the natural points back here, the power and requisition right in front of Nebukatnezar's base. And there goes another destructor right into that Termagant squad, but they do have to drop that Venom sack up right there and slow him down. Meanwhile, the Warlock has gotten himself the Merciless Witchblade. Curious, normally you see the Fire Sword. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of its name right now. I apologize, but normally you see that and Fire Blast. Oh my gosh, Incinerate being dropped on the Gaunt squads. Normally very useful for the Termagants. I'm just tripping up. Obviously, it's been a few days since I've done a cast, so pardon me. So Merciless Witchblade on the Warlock. That's really all I was trying to say. Fear Tendrils on the Lictor, giving him some nice tankiness on the field, being able to steal some health whenever he's in melee. Spore Mines, looks like they're just barely getting around the Shuriken Cannon, and it's gonna have to retreat. Rangers hanging back. You can see he didn't bother to reinforce this third Ranger. If you're low on requisition and resource as Eldar and you're confident in your micro, it's never really necessary to get that third Ranger. All you really need is the one with the sniper rifle to take care of that right there. And that last Spore Mine does go off. These Rangers are going to have to get out of there, not getting set up in time for a trap. And Welcome Back, My Son, just locking Nebukatnezzar in his base right now. Pulling those squads back as they come under fire from the Shuriken platform back there. Really, with him locked in his base, he should really use these Gaunt squads to take these couple rear points on his side of the map right now, but instead is choosing to kind of harass a little bit more while he can. Warlock's going to go ahead and engage these Raveners over here and do a pretty nice job of messing them up with that Merciless Witchblade, and also probably be able to take off some energy to prevent them from burrow striking when it comes down to it. But looks like they had just enough. You can see a little bit right there. And oh, they do not attack the Shuriken, unfortunately, though. And a nice grenade going off from those Guardians, which do fall to the Termagants, unfortunately. But the Shuriken Cannon does get set up and force Welcome Back, My Son, right off the front lines here again. Unfortunately, those Raveners probably could have just stayed on this Shuriken Cannon and did fine, and he would have pushed Nebukatnezzar back into his base once again, but a little bit of an oversight right there, unfortunately. Looks like the Termagants are finally going to go back and capture the couple points on this side of the map, and both players are now moving on into Tier 2. Nebukatnezzar having a nice pile of requisition right now, really been doing a good job of minimizing his losses against the Lictor here. And a kinetic shot, excellent move, knocking that Lictor down, letting the Banshees get some extra swings on him on retreat. Meanwhile, looks like the Lictor is getting an upgrade, getting the deadly jump upgrade, which will again give another counter to that suppression squad. Now he'll have to keep track of both the Lictor and the Ravener brood once he has that Shuriken deployed on the field. So it looks like we got some Venom Brood Warriors, probably going to be using those to add on to this nasty range file here. And, oh, yep, there's the range synapse right there, and the Ravener's already getting their Devour upgrade as well. And the Shuriken is heading into a garrison, but it's going to be pretty hurt already as it gets in there. And probably a Spore Mine drop right here to get them out. They instantly try to get back out of that garrison. Oh, but it doesn't look like he fires the Spore Mines at all. That probably would have been more damage than those couple shots the Termagants got on him, but oh well. Meanwhile, some War Spires have come onto the field as well, and looks like Welcome Back My Son's getting himself some Gene Stealers. That's a curious purchase right now. Rangers are on the field, so they won't be able to be used. Oh, a nice looking Altark spread here on the grenade drop. Oh man, and just shredding that Hormagon squad. Oh, it may actually go down to the War Spires. It does. Oh, Hormagons fall to the combined power of the Altark grenades and the Warp Spiders firing on the last couple members on retreat. Meanwhile, it looks like these range squads up top are going to have to retreat as well. Here come the Gene Stealers, though. I'm assuming he'll have to get some warriors or something. They won't be doing much without that melee synapse, of course. They are pretty weak. Excellent damage output, but a bit in the way of glass cannons as far as that goes. And with rangers on the field, they won't be able to sit cloaked on points without being detected. So looks like we're seeing a pretty typical Eldar setup here. Eldar, of course, very good at controlling the map. Banshees will be able to protect this Shuriken platform from Raveners and such, although it looks like Nebuchadnezzar's ready to go on the offensive and move in here. Welcome Back My Son. Not going to be able to win this fight. He really needs to pull out of there. Oh no, he sent the Gene Stealers in and lost several models on that. Lost 3 Gene Stealers. Raveners with a nice defensive Burrow Strike to protect them from the Banshees and Warp Spiders, so managed to minimize losses after that bit of an oops there, but some quick damage output shredded a couple Gene Stealers there for ultimately what was no gain. Oh no, it looks like that was the Banshee Altark there, or Exarch, that got flesh hooked, and a nice little play there. Always try to grab those leaders whenever you flesh hook a squad. If they've got a special leader, always try to grab them and kill them. That's definitely some extra power. Those Rangers in a bit of trouble right now. The Lictor used his combat jump. The flesh hook was on cooldown though, so he didn't manage to nab that last Ranger. Otherwise, they would have been in a little trouble. Looks like some Warriors have been purchased and got the Adrenal Gland upgrade, so they'll be able to walk around with those Gene Stealers and prevent a secondary threat of some powerful heavy melee. In addition to this infamous Tyrannid ranged blob right here, which is of course the Venom Brood Synapse with 2 squads of Termagants and some nasty Devour Raveners. Meanwhile, Nebuchadnezzar's doing a great job of using the Altark on the far backside of the map and just harassing Welcome Back My Son's economy all over the place. Really, Welcome Back should probably just spread out and try to capture some of these points. He really doesn't need to be so blobbed up right now with Nebuchadnezzar back in his base. So the Warp Spider taking a couple quick losses there, moved up a bit prematurely before that Shuriken cannon got set up to suppress the range firepower. Warp Spiders, of course, have excellent burst damage, but against all this... Oh no, moving in a bit too quickly again. Oh, and just taken... Oh no, the Warp Spiders are down to a single member. They just barely get out of there. They may even have fallen if those Raveners had decided to focus fire them on the way out. Wraithguard are on the field now, though. We'll be able to really hammer this range squad, and with the support of the Banshees, probably deal with these Gene Stealers pretty well also. Unfortunately, on their own, they're not going to be able to take the combined melee and range force of this Nid squad. But and it looks like we're finally going to get a power bash in here after the Altark drop stopped the first one. Welcome Back My Son is going to get his vengeance and take out these generators, it looks like. So Gene Stealer's hanging out cloaked on the power node. A nice looking Destructor into the range pile there, and the Banshee's moving in for a kill here. Meanwhile, the Altark has been constantly running around the back lines. You can see a lot of the back line there is just completely blue now, except for the one lone requisition point. And she's going to use her speed to go ahead and grab the VP on the far side there, despite a third squad of warriors now coming onto the field. So Nebuchadnezzar did lose a full power farm there, but he's still holding plenty of resource right now. Been doing a good job of keeping those wreck points captured. Although Welcome Back My Son also doing a pretty good number with the Lictor back here, taking both of Nebuchadnezzar's natural points as well. So just good capping all over the place. You can see just red dots flooding the map right now. And a big nasty blob right here. Looks like the Raveners jumped in on this suppression gun, but unfortunately that's exactly what the Eldar want you to do. The Eldar very good at controlling the map and forcing the engagements where they want the engagements to happen. If you've got Raveners and you know the Eldar has Banshees, you never really want to just blindly jump in on that Shuriken Cannon, because you know the Banshees are going to just be hanging out waiting for you to come in, and they'll just make short work of those Raveners. War Spiders falling into a garrison and harassing these warrior broods. They're going to have to get out of there. Getting a little low, don't want to lose a model unnecessarily. But this is exactly, these three units right here are the setup that is just a pain in the butt to deal with against Eldar. You'll see the Wraith Guards sitting up in front, blasting your range blob, supported by the Shuriken Cannon, and of course the Shuriken Cannon will then be supported by the Banshees. So Nebukatnezzar's been doing a good job. The only time he's really been taking damage is when he finds himself out of position, just like these Banshees we saw right there. But the Wraith Guards did manage to get a pretty nice shot right into that mid pile and cause some decent damage right there. Unfortunately, the Raveners did not choose to burrow strike right there, and probably could have just burrow striked on that that Shuriken weapons team and taken this engagement. But unfortunately, he wasn't managed to do that. Lost a Ravener and had to fall back. So the melee pile's coming out now. In addition, we can just see the whole kind of nib blob right here. And the Wraith Guard's a bit up out of position. You can see it using an attack ground right there and not quite hitting anything. The Shuriken Cannon is there now, though, and a nice knockback supporting shot by the Rangers, keeping them supported and keeping the melee at bay. So that's pretty much what you want to see, is just the Shuriken Cannon platform supporting these Wraith Guards right now. Nice looking destructor into the Gaunt Squad. And there's another attack ground. You can see that's really the best way to use Wraith Guards, is you got to use that attack ground maneuver. Just using attack move with them, they tend to have such a long wind-up time on their firing cycle that they'll shoot where a unit was and not where it actually is. Banshee's getting the jump on these warrior broods. Not quite tagging a model, unfortunately, though, it looks like. They did manage to get out of there. Oh, and Lictor getting a nice pull on that Exarch once again, and she does fall. Welcome back, my son's been spot on with those flesh hooks. The Exarch's pretty easy to pick out in the Banshee squad generally, unless they're already in melee, so good play by Welcome Back, my son, so far. But Wraith Lord is now on the field, which is going to be quite a pain for Welcome Back, my son, to deal with, so long as Nebuchadnezzar keeps it properly supported. The Altarch's been upgraded with her Executioner now in the meantime as well. Looks like the Warlock's still sticking with his Merciless Switchblade. And that Wraith Guard's scaring those Gene Stealers right off the field. And they are getting their Rending Claws, which will give them some heavy melee. Unfortunately, the Lictor did die right there. The Gene Stealer is also in a lot of trouble. Very low HP right now. Looks like Nebuchadnezzar's decided he's not going to get that, and the Venom Brood moving in for melee, unfortunately, and having to get out of there. So an excellent push by Nebuchadnezzar, getting him right off the field. Oh man, and those Wraith Guards just shredding that Ripper squad right there. Moving up a bit ahead of the army, though. You have to be careful with those Wraith Guards. They are very slow. And gonna try to get a power harass on right now, but Welcome Back, my son, having plenty of power. Probably not gonna make much of a difference right now. Destroying this power node. It never hurts to get a power bash in, but don't find yourself out of position. Here comes the Nid Blob in force. That's pretty much the whole pile right there. And the Ravener's getting in on those Wraith Guard. And the Wraith Lord's going to find himself in a bit of trouble here, actually. Pretty overextended. The Shuriken Cannon is way too far back to deal with any of this melee. And combined with the Venom Brood, it does go down. Oh man, that was a bit of a waste of a Wraith Lord. It really didn't get to do much at all before it came onto the field. And here comes another drop. We've seen several Spore Mines and stuff. Those War Spiders need to get back right now, though. They are very low. Oh, a single member just barely managed to blink out right there, and a great counter push by Welcome Back, my son, getting Nebuchadnezzar right off the field. The Banshees, however, are still on the field and managed to charge into this range blob. Oh, and got two nice kills on that Venom Brood, causing some nasty damage, and getting some extra kills on this Termagon squad. just a couple members just managing to get out of there. Actually, it looked like only one. And now those Banshees are probably going to have to fall back. A lot of ranged pressure on them right now, forcing them off the field. Although, in the meantime, Nebukatnezzar does have a triple cap right now, trying to get a couple extra kills on these Banshees, but he needs to get these VPs. Nebuchadnezzar took the map right there and has managed to turn that victory point deficit into an advantage right now, with Welcome Back My Son being about 150 VPs down at this particular point in time. He really just needs to spread out and take the map back, unfortunately. Nebuchadnezzar's been doing a great job with his Altark and quicker Eldar squads, and taking out the VPs and taking control of the map. Wraithguard's finishing off those Spore Mines. We're seeing several Spore Mine and Ripper squad drops right here. He used pretty well, but he's going to have to be very careful and make sure he can hold these victory points for the rest of the game, because he's in a bit of a tight spot right now.
Do not falter, for victory is within reach.
So Wraithguards once again firing into that blob. You can see the attack round being used here very effectively. Always try to use that attack round. I know a lot of people say no one actually uses that, but if you ever watch a good player with Wraithguards, they're always using that attack round command to great effect.
The Temple Exarch leads us back, bringing us superior weapons.
So Nebuchadnezzar doing a good job staying on the field here and really pressuring Welcome Back My Son. He needs to get these VPs back. It's not going to be long at this point. Unfortunately, it looks like he's not going to be able to get out of here. Really needs to be spreading out and trying to take this whole west side of the map you can see over here is uncontested right now. He really could have just sent a Grunt squad over there or something to deal with that. So the Banshee's working on the power farm right there, and the VPs are just ticking away, unfortunately. I don't think a nice point-blank shot there by the Wraithguards, but that's going to be the game, I think. Yep, there it goes. Looks like he surrendered in the last few seconds, and an excellent counter by Nebuchadnezzar. He was at a disadvantage there briefly, but got this triple cap and held it for the last few minutes there, and you can see how quickly that turned the tides of the game. He did lose, unfortunately, this... You can see this husk of the Wraith Lord remaining there, a bit of a fluke on that, but the rest of the game he played very well and minimized his losses and just was constantly harassing the map with that very quick Altark, of course. And all in all, well played. I thought that was a pretty good game, all things considered. Good play by both sides, of course. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the game. Red-Rupee signing off. I'll catch you guys next time.